Hey guys, Banana Luck here, and welcome back to another Watch Our Realms video. So we are getting the Lizard banner, surprisingly. So if I had to guess, they probably had more delays with Apple, and this is sort of the event that they have to put in place before we all go crazy. So it's nice that we have some freebies going on here, even a legendary skill crystal, which we haven't gotten in a long time. So that's nice, but we're here to talk about the banner. So this is a 2x 15x banner. Obviously great if you are trying to go for the heroes here. In my opinion, the best hero to really get here is Ferssi. For the fact that he's pretty much used in every single com, and Samra too, and yeah, I don't think the other two units are as useful. Salazar used to be superb, but he's really, overtaken in terms of power crept by, all the other new fighters that have come into the game. So why is Percy so great? Basically, he does inspiration. Not much, but it's something. And he also gives AoE damage reduction. This goes up to 35%, sorry, 25%. And it's pretty much an essential part of, Samra. You definitely need it to be able to survive through most of the later bits. So that's why Ferssi is great here, and you just need one copy of him. His awakenings are really all not that great. This is extra heal, attack, extra heal because the interval goes down, rage regen, and then yeah, just more heals when he does get AoE damage. So first copy is good enough, and if you missed him during the last banner, which was Pax and Ferssi, this is a great time to actually go for him. I personally didn't pull a single Ferssi. I'm very happy about that. I got my Hex, I got my Arrogance, and we snagged some pretty decent legendaries along the way as well. So yeah, if you don't have a single copy of Ferssi yet, this is just best chance to go ahead to get him. And yeah, this is also accompanied by these two heroes, which we're gonna talk about now. So Salazar, a great unit, honestly, but yeah, I think times have changed quite a bit now. He used to be one of the units with the highest base attacks, which is why he was so great. But yeah, I think now he's really, overtaken by a lot of new fighters. He has no talent. I think if they added something here, he might be good again. But okay, let's just take a look. Deals damage to one enemy with a blah 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 percentage chance to inflict bleed. This goes up to 17%. And then launches attack on one enemy, dealing 35% damage two times. Second attack will guarantee a crit hit if target is inflicted by bleed. So this basically gives him two attacks. Yeah. I think because it was one of the newer heroes, they phrased it in a really odd manner. But this is what he has. And this one is just some self sustain, really helpful in single target arena. Restores 3% mix H. Sorry. Restores how many percent? 8% max HP for every 5 crit hits landed at max. Yeah, just some survivability. And then last but not least, Kineza's bond skill with him temporarily increases the hero's max HP when triggered, lasting for 5 seconds. Not sure how it's triggered, but yeah, it's not that great of a bond skill. You don't really use Salazar to tank much. That's not going to be what you use him for. But onto his ultimate, launches a blitz of 6 strikes randomly on all targets in range. Its strike dealing 300% at max level. Last one dealing 380% damage, and he becomes immune to all damage when the skill is in effect. And the skill guarantees crit hits on targets inflicted with bleed. So it's a really good option if, let's say, you don't have like any bursty heroes. Salazar is gonna do a great job for you there. That's the reason why his meta is single target arena again, because you want your clears as fast as possible, and honestly, no one does it faster than him. And the immunity that he has when he does his ultimate is pretty clutch. I've encountered a couple of times where I had to use Salazar to, dodge stuff with his ultimate. And bear in mind that he gets a huge ultimate range. So it means that even targets haven't reached his attack range, you can already cast the ultimate, and you can also cast it when the targets have walked past Salazar. So he has some decent awakenings, but mostly just to actually increase the chance of him inflicting bleed. So first of all, over here increases the chance of inflicting bleed with basic attack by 10%. So basically this goes up to 27%. A2 is extra attack, given that he has very high base attack, 5% makes sense. And then extra bleed duration, I think this is where the money is at. Once you get him to A3, you're pretty much set in terms of, bleed uptime. That's basically all you need him at. Mine is at A1. I'm not going to go for this banner because we have a lot of upcoming stuff that could be really nice, like Kikiri. A4, extra penetration, always nice for DPS unit. And then A5, boiling blood guarantees a crit hit on the first attack against targets inflicted with bleed. This basically means that, when you're Salazar at A5, you pretty much don't have to build him with crit anymore because he gets almost 100% bleed uptime. So not the most crazy awakening, I'll say, given that if you get 5 pieces of ancient gear, you're gonna get 100% crit anyways. So that's Salazar for you. He's not a bad unit. He's just not as great as all the other fighters in comparison these days. So that's the reason why I'll say don't go for him. But in terms of a bleed uptime unit, Salazar is probably the best one in the game. I still use him in my Nightmare team in Samurai 2. He does decent damage even at A1. You can see right here, 229, not too shabby. Probably get it better if it's A2 or A3, especially the bleed up time and the extra attack that we get on him. So yeah, that's what we got going on, and yeah, he's honestly not that bad of a unit or anything. He's just not as great as he used to be. So last unit that I want to talk about here, that's Trusk, another defense-based defender, damage-wise. So all damage dealt scales of defense. Each basic attack launch has a 15% chance of triggering a roll, dealing 140% AoE damage to at most 3 enemies in range, knocking them into the air. Additionally, when HP is below 50%, restores 5% max HP for every 4 instances of damage taken. Pretty neat self-sustain that we got going on there. He does magic damage only to one enemy in range. And then when ultimate is triggered, hero pulls one unblocked target in the adjacent tile towards himself. And defense increases by 10%, block increases by 1, makes sense. And range enemies will prioritize targeting him. And the defense increase goes up to 15%. Second passive, each ultimate cast increases defense by 10% permanently. This goes up to 15. And the max stack goes up to 4. And he gets 1 extra block upon max stack. So, in a nutshell, you're gonna see him getting 5 blocks by default with his ultimate, 6 blocks with Bastion Ring. Pretty unheard of for defenders, but I've not seen him being used at all in Hellfire Codex. So I'm gonna go on a limb here to say that all this is great in theory, but it's not gonna be that great in execution. And then ultimate grants defense increase for up to 3 adjacent allies. You can see it's a 9 tile range, channels to deal 140% AoE damage every 2 seconds up to 5 enemies in range. If directly hit by enemies, hero will counter attack to deal 300% damage one time. Pretty self-explanatory, but I don't think this is gonna be superb for the fact that defense killing damage dealers have never done crazy work. So yeah, that's Trust. Honestly, out of all the 3 heroes that you would to choose not to get, Trust is gonna be the guy. Awakenings wise, let's see. HP is below 50%, reduces all damage taken, can be triggered 1 time every 40 seconds. That's neat. Extra defense, 20% extra damage, damage reduction. When receiving fatal damage for the first time, restores 30% max HP immediately. Not the greatest A5 once again, but A3 as well, you don't really want him to be dealing more damage. You want him to tank more, but yeah, that's the weird spot that we had with defense damage dealing units. But yeah, I think A1 is nice, but other than that, the rest of the awakenings are not really what I'll strive for. That said, it's a cool looking unit, also from a unique, faction where we don't really have much defenders other than Trusk. Other than that, who do we have? Adef, I think, but that's pretty much it. So yeah, it's not that bad of a unit. It's just that amongst the other two banner units, you just don't want to get him, and this I think it's as usual. In all these 2x 15x banners, there's gonna be one unit that you don't really want, and Trust just happens to be one of them. We do get some cool skins. This one is just an icy skin that we have on Trusk, whereas in the Salazar skin looks freaking ridiculous, but it's just a Salazar with electric guitar. I would love to see how it actually works in game. Like, does he bash people with his guitar? But yeah, uh, pretty cool stuff that we got going on. But if you ask me, this banner is a hard skip unless you don't have Ferssi. Then worthwhile to actually go for him. Because it's a 2x banner, but yeah, you're gonna stand a chance of getting Trusk. Salava is okay. I wouldn't mind getting him. Awakenings as well. Firstly is gonna be great as well, but if you already have one copy of Firstly, my advice, skip this banner. Don't even summon the 2x because we have so many good stuff upcoming that's leaked already. There's also a normal ancient banner, skip that as well. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have more questions on whether or not you should summon. But yeah, if you have any questions, leave it down below. And as usual, do leave a like or subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the content. And I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.